This is the Yara Crop Nutrition Podcast. Yara is the global leader in crop nutrition knowledge and the leading producer of quality fertilizer products. The podcast is intended to facilitate the transfer of knowledge for farmers and crop advisors, improving farm profitability and environmental sustainability. With Yara, knowledge grows.
Thanks for joining another episode of the Yara Crop Nutrition Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about turf, not just turf, but OptimumTurf, which is Yara's solution for a good, luscious, healthy turf product. Joining us today is Neil Mayberry, who is our crop manager for OptimumTurf. How are you doing today, Neil?
Good, Scott. How are you today?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. Today we're going to be talking about specifically foliar nutrition for turf and how that can help you produce an optimum turf. Neil, can you talk a little bit about why a foliar or a liquid application of fertilizer is helpful for a good, healthy turf?
Well, as a golf course superintendent or turf manager, spoon feeding is a critical aspect of how management takes place on turf, especially on golf greens. It's extremely important to spoon feed the nutrients because you don't want a lot of excess growth, and you want to be able to dial in the exact amount of nutrients that the turf needs at that given point in time. Environmental extremes or different temperature swings can definitely dictate how much nutrients are put out. And a turf manager really wants to be able to adjust that on the fly to be able to produce quality conditions. They're faced with a lot of pressure to produce the highest quality that they can at any given point with a lot of people don't understand the amount of abiotic stresses that are put on turf, and it's always under a huge amount of stress.
It sounds like a liquid foliar nutrition plan is a more precise way to control nutrition. Is that accurate?
That's correct. Golf course superintendent, turf managers, they do granular applications, more so on fairways and roughs and different features like that. But on the golf greens, we really want to dial it in and get it exactly right. You want to be as precise as you can be. But I will say that doesn't mean that I have not seen a trend from going more from granular to more foliar nutrition, even in the fairways and athletic fields and even in the home lawns. A lot of landscapers have moved to foliar nutrition.
Does the foliar applied fertilizer have a more of immediate effect on the plant?
It just depends. What you can do is if it's more efficient. So say, for instance, your goals to feed your turf a half a pound of nitrogen per month. You can dial that in and split it up in a weekly application. That way you're ensuring that plant is uptaking exactly what you're putting out, or majority of what you're putting out, versus putting down a one-time application and perhaps losing some of that product through environmental factors.
Also joining us today is Toby Goodroad, who's the Market Development Director for Yara North America. And Toby has a lot of experience in the turf market as well as in the liquid foliar fertilizers. Toby, can you tell us a little bit about the history of these foliar applied liquids and why we've decided to add them to our OptimumTurf line?
That's a good question. We've been doing foliar nutrition for over 65 years, producing product since, in England for that time. And we've been in the U.S. for over 30 years, primarily focused in agriculture. So I think the main thing to keep in mind is that there are many, many, many options out there for people that are growing turf. And the reason that we feel like we have such a fit is just based on our expertise, how we develop the products, the quality of the products. We also, the way that you'll see this OptimumTurf liquid line, it is very targeted towards specific needs that turf growers have. So there's a full range of products, and you'll be able to, depending on the conditions that you're approaching, you'll have a solution in hand that will fit the need.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's managing that specific field at that specific time of year and then dialing it in with the correct products at the right application rate.
Exactly. I think it's key, even in agriculture, that we do the same thing. But the unique thing about turf is that most people that are involved in intensive turf management are very dialed in on which nutrients at what time and what they're dealing with from environmental conditions. So this is why YaraVita is the optimum product to address these needs in turf. Now, we've been selling into turf for a long time with a product called Turf Royale, which is a YaraVita product, homogeneous NPK, and calcium nitrate. So a lot of turf managers will recognize us, recognize Yara from those products. And we're bringing that same high quality into a liquid line of products. So they should have some confidence already from products they've used in the past.
Neil, can you tell us a little bit more about these OptimumTurf liquids that we are launching?
Well, first of all, Scott, we're launching eight new products, and basically what we've done is laid out a portfolio to pretty much address any issue that a golf course superintendent may have based on nutritional complications. The soil is very variable, so a lot of these nutrients can be locked up in the soil. So with foliar nutrition, it allows you to give the plant, apply it to the leaf, and be able to uptake exactly what you need when you need it. So the products that we're launching, we have, like I mentioned before, we have 8 products. First one I'll mention is Roots. You got a product that has 29% phosphorus. You do have some potassium, magnesium combined in that product to maximize uptake and to help produce energy for that plant. And then you have Renew, which is a potassium-based product. It's has a lot of potassium in it, 34% potassium in that product with 3 units of nitrogen. So really good product to deliver the amount of potassium that the plant needs at any given time. And you can tweak those rates to dial it in for that specific location. Then we have Pristine Green, which is a 3.9% iron, but it's an EDDHA chelate, which is very critical in a lot of situations. I know a lot of people are plagued with high pH, and they may not have ability to give the plant exactly the amount of iron that it needs, and this product will really help out with that. It's a low use rate. It starts off at a quarter ounce per thousand, which is that just shows the efficiency of this product. Then we have Guard, which is a phosphorus manganese product, and it's designed to enhance the manganese levels to help the plant with many physiological functions. And then we have Synthesize. It's a phosphorus zinc, which a lot of people understand that zinc is very, very important for different growth regulation activities within the plant. Then we have Activate. Has 4 units of nitrogen, but what's unique about this product is it has 20% of magnesium in this product. That's a large amount of magnesium within one product to help deliver the amount of magnesium that you would need in any type of situation. Then we have a Maintain. It's more of a complete product. It has NPK, and it has zinc, boron, and molybdenum. And then Safe In. Finally, Safe In is a product that provides a nitrogen source. It's 25% nitrogen, but it also has about 20 to 25% slow release nitrogen that's provided in that product as well.
It sounds like you sure have your bases covered there, Neil, with these 8 new products. What tools do we have that can help a retailer or a turf professional know which product to apply and when, and a little more information about these products?
Well, right now you could go to the webpage, yara.us, search crop solutions on the turf, and it will have all the product information needed to see exactly what's in these products. Number one, you can find a derived from statement and see exactly what the active ingredients are. And additionally, there's a OptimumTurf calculator that can be utilized as well. So it's easy to use. So you can take your soil tissue samples, see exactly where your program needs to be mostly focused, add the rates in, and it shows you exactly what products you should be applying and the exact rates. And you can play with it a little bit to build the program that's perfect for your situation.
That's great that we have those tools, Neil, because when you're talking precision nutrition, you need to know what products to apply, when, and how much. Also joining us today is Laura Hathaway, the product development chemist over in Pocklington, England, at one of our laboratories, and that's where we have developed these OptimumTurf liquids. Laura, thanks for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about these OptimumTurf liquids, how they were developed, what makes them different or unique in the marketplace?
Hi, Scott. Yeah. So here in England, Yara UK, we have a Pocklington site, which is rather unusual in the fact that we actually design our products from market-led requests, and we actually design them and manufacture them and dispatch them all on site here. So in terms of when a market has requested a product, so we have business development managers who feed back to our expert managers, and they sort of decide what's required in the market, what people need. So it's very market-led. We want to tailor our products to you. So in the way that we actually design, manufacture, and package them, we get a concept evaluation request as part of our ISO 9001 procedure. So this is our international standards organization, which we follow, and we have a complete process from start to finish of all of our products and the whole manufacturing experience here. So in terms of a chemist point of view, I absolutely love the novel chemistry we apply into our products. So whenever we get a concept idea, we're all for it. We want to know what people need, and in the market for turf, as Neil has just suggested, the 8-product range is very vast and diverse, and it fulfills the requirements that are required specifically for superintendents in turf, right at the first hand. In terms of chemistry, all products go through our rigorous procedure in terms of raw material testing. So a lot of the raw materials we actually use could be food grades or even higher purity grades in terms of pharmaceutical grade products. For example, zinc oxide, we actually use pharmaceutical grade because it's so much finer. So in terms of a foliar application, this is great for absorption onto the leaf surface. For formulation chemistry, this is a huge asset in terms of liquids. We can ensure a 5-year shelf life for all our products, and they're all rigorously tested in terms of crop safety. So obviously in turf, especially ornamental turf, golf turf, you need to have that, almost like Neil said, the pristine YaraVita, pristine green. You need the lush effect, and it needs to be quickly growing. The roots need to be secured, and all the nutrients optimized, which is, of course, our optimal turf program. So in terms of a chemist point of view, we actually completely test all our products on site, and we do a 4-week process of this. We also check the stability of our products, ensuring that the chemistry is top notch. We want to ensure that there's enough dispersion, because you're obviously applying quite high rates for turf. So we use certain adjuvants in our formulations, such as wetters, So if you've ever seen the dew on the morning, it's a very high surface tension of water droplets on the leaf, which is great, but it could cause scorch from the sun, which may cause sun damage to the crop or the turf, rather. And then, so we can reduce this surface tension, ensure wetting, ensure the product is actually fully utilised and all those nutrients are absorbed into the crop, in terms of making it really highly effective for nutrition.
That's really good information. It's nice to know that there is a scientific process, that there are rigorous ISO standards that you adhere to. But why does that matter to the people that are listening to this podcast? Why is it important for one of our retailers or a professional turf manager that we take all of these steps? You know, specifically, and not to lead you down the path here, but you mentioned a 5-year shelf life. If I'm thinking as a retailer, boy, it sure is nice to know that stuff that's been on the shelf is still the same potency, that it still stays in solution, and it's still the same effective product, you know, many years down the road, and I don't have to worry about that. As well as a applicator, that he knows that the stuff that he's getting is still the same high quality.
Yeah, so specifically our range for turf, the OptimumTurf YaraVita products are actually all solutions. So we do also sell powder and suspension concentrates in our YaraVita range. However, this is specific to turf, so we issue a 5-year shelf life for those products. But yeah, from a raw material standpoint, rigorously we test our raw materials, because from a chemist point of view, if you've ever looked at the safety data sheets and the chemicals on those, they can be ever so significantly different when it comes to practicalities of how the chemical behaves in a liquid or a suspension. So ideally, we completely source our raw materials from suitable for our purposes in fertilizer. So it is obviously quite unusual to use such raw materials. A lot of the raw materials are from ore sources. For example, I mentioned zinc earlier, and that is complexed naturally with cadmium. And the reason we use the pharmaceutical grade is because ethically we do not want heavy metals in our products. So we eliminate this as much as possible by using a higher grade, more refined products for raw materials for our products. This also involves the thickening agents in suspensions, but specifically for our liquid products, finding a good wetters. We need to disperse our products as much as possible without detriment to the composition of the product. We need it to be safety critical. We use field trials for all of our products before they are released. So there has been a lot of work going into these 8 products, and it's a constant process also. So we'll constantly review how things are going, and we also tank mix. I'm hoping you'll discuss this later. So tank mixing is a crucial part of our procedure, because we need to ensure that whatever pesticides or insecticides you'll be using in the field, we need to make our products make it completely mixable with that, because we want to sell to the wide range end user. So we can achieve that if we can make a product chemically stable with the fungicides, insecticides, pesticides, whatever else is going to be used in that free run of application.
Laura, I like your perspective and the chemist point of view here, that you're using the very best sourced raw materials to combine and to manufacture these high quality products. It's almost like a professional athlete or somebody that's very health conscious looks for the very best food nutrients to take in so that they can reach their peak performance. Neil, there's a lot of different products out there in the marketplace that are foliar applied liquids. Tell us a little bit about Yara's OptimumTurf liquids and how they are different.
Well, Scott, like Laura mentioned, she went over a lot of the valuable attributes of the YaraVita product line. There are many foliar products out there on the market that a turf manager has to choose from. But the problem is some products are not completely formulated. They do not have the addition of surfactants and stickers and everything that's needed to produce a fully formulated product, especially, it goes all the way back to the raw material selection. It's so important. Superintendents, that they want a product that they can get in, or even a turf manager in general, that number one, when they get it in, it's all going to be in solution. You're not going to have product at the bottom of the jug. Number two, it's going to be easy to handle. Even the product packaging makes a huge difference. Is it going to be easy to pour? Is it going to be mixable with other commonly known products? And like Laura mentioned as well, it goes through a rigorous test process to ensure that it's mixable with, number one, the products that are in a portfolio, and number two, a lot of the commonly used pesticides that's out there on the market, especially growth regulators. Pretty much every week during the growing season, a turf manager is going to be applying a growth regulator with that tank mix. So it's extremely important for him to be able to have, or him or her, to be able to have confidence in that product. Number one, we want to make sure it's safe to the crop. And we want to make sure it's safe to the user as well to use, and don't have any health concerns by using these products. Also, efficient nutrient release. As mentioned before, these products are formulated to maximize crop uptake. And that's because of the combination of the nutrients that are added into these formulations. And then, the superior quality. You've got to make sure that it is superior quality. What you see on the derived statement of this label is what you're getting. There's a lot of products on the market, and not to mention specific, but you may not know 100% exactly what you're getting and what you're applying. And that's a big concern that we see a lot of time in the market. And, we want to ensure that our end users are getting exactly what they desire to get, and is going to do exactly what they want it to do without any question, because it's important for a turf manager who is faced with many factors on a golf course or wherever he's managing turf. He doesn't have time to make a mistake. He doesn't have that margin of error. So it is extremely important for him to be able to get exactly what he needs to get into that plant at that specific time period.
Toby, from your point of view as the market development director, how important is the OptimumTurf liquid product line, and what recommendations would you give to someone that's listening to this podcast that hasn't tried the OptimumTurf liquids?
Yeah, I think, first of all, I think it's very important. I used to work in this industry, specifically managing golf courses, and also did some work in lawn care. I think this has, a more specific fit for golf courses, even though in sports turf, but I do think there could be some products that fit in lawn care. I believe Neil mentioned that. But I remember the days of trying to sort out what products we should be using, and the variation of quality that was out there. And so I feel like because of who we are, Yara, and we're known for quality products, and that doesn't stop here. We want to bring another quality product as a solution to turf managers. And I'm super excited that we're able to do this, that we have somebody specifically focused on turf, that being Neil, and that we've got all the support from Yara UK and Pocklington to formulate and help make these products the best that they can be. So I feel like the best way for them to find out more is the website, of course, but also we have some sales agronomists in the field. You can follow us on Twitter. I can't remember the Twitter handle, OptimumTurf _YNA, but just search OptimumTurf in Twitter and you'll be able to follow us and our sales agronomists as we go around. And then request from your distributor if they know anything about these products. As we've been setting up in various locations across North America, there will be distribution set up to sell you these products. But go ahead and ask your sales rep if they've heard about them or have any information for you as well.
Neil, as you've been developing and testing these products, you've seen some success stories. Can you share some of those success stories with us?
Yes, I can specifically relate to the YaraVita roots. That's a product that our chemical formulation that a lot of guys do not think about a lot because it's high phosphorus, but it's formulated to get that phosphorus into the plant really quick, and it's extremely important to apply that around stressful periods. One I will specifically mention is we did some research around aerification, and to be able to apply that product at certain rates before the aerification procedures take place. It's kind of like priming the plant, giving it the proper energy that it needs to endure the amount of stress that the plant endures during aerification. Everybody understands aerification is important to get oxygen to the roots, and it helps the plant long term. But it's also important to recover that plant rather quickly, because when the golf course is shut down through the aerification procedures, it's costing the owner or the corporation money because there's lost rounds and revenue for that property. So that's one example. But other examples, I mean, you can go on and on and on, because with turf, it endures a lot of stresses, mostly abiotic stresses, but sometimes biotic stresses as well. But it's important to ensure that that plant is getting that amount of phosphorus that it needs to be able to endure that. If we recall how available phosphorus is in the soil, we know it's not real mobile in the soil, so the roots don't have a whole lot of access to that phosphorus source. And plus, in turf, roots are notorious for being very limited, very short, and therefore nutrients are very hard to uptake. So I've seen a lot of demos in the field where people have used high phos products to get over that hump, and that hump meaning during those high stress periods. I think it's extremely important, and this product is dialed in for providing that perfect formulation to make that grass really, really endure any type of stress that's handed. And I think it should be in every superintendent's toolbox.
I just want to add too, Neil, that it also has potassium and magnesium, and I think you could speak to that as well. That the product's been designed and is used to drive the photosynthetic activity, which is basically giving energy to the crop. I mean, there are advantages to those two other nutrients as well, besides just the high phosphorus, right?
Yep, that's right. Yep.
We also want to make you aware of a cool tool that's available that will outline the mixability of YaraVita products with many of the plant protection products that are out there. You can access this tool by going to tankmix.com, or there's an app in the App Store, the Google Play Store, called Tank Mix It. And make sure you go and download that onto your phone and try to use that resource. I think you'll find it very helpful. Neil, Toby, Laura, thank you for helping us understand a little bit more about these OptimumTurf liquids, what their advantages are, why they should be used, and a little bit more about the science and chemistry and quality of these products. If you're interested in learning more about these products, you can contact one of the Yara sales agronomists. You can stop by one of your favorite distributors and ask their sales guys about it. Or you can go to yara.us here in the United States, or yaracanada.ca for our friends up north. Stay tuned for future Yara Crop Nutrition podcasts where we discuss each of these OptimumTurf liquids specifically and get into how to apply and what their advantages are. As always, we hope you grew your knowledge by listening to this podcast. We hope you have a great summer and that your turf grows green and lush.